Hello, everyone. Welcome to Everything Arsenal. In this one, we are going to be taking a look at our preseason fixtures, which games we are going to be playing this month before the start of the real deal next month. And obviously, which kind of lineups could we see in all of these games? Who has traveled? We'll talk about all that. So we actually have one game in Germany, and we'll also have 3 games over in USA, and then one back in England, and then plus the Community Shield, which will be 6 fixtures before the season starts. Obviously, we've already played one game against Watford. This was a behind closed doors fixture that we didn't know about. And we might see another one like this that you don't know about. We usually play Brentford and Watford like in the middle of the season, before the season. We usually play both of those teams like every single season in a behind closed doors fixture. So we might end up playing like a Brentford or a Charlton, whichever team that is in London. So usually with friendly matches, you remember back in the day, this is how I prefer it. I usually prefer like playing teams that you never face. Like, for example, like a Charlton, like you play like an FC Porto, you play like a Reims from France, you go play like a Feyenoord from Netherlands, teams that you never really play. But nowadays, actually, things have changed. Like nowadays, a lot of the teams are playing against teams that you usually face in the league. That's what I've noticed. Like the last 5 years, like Barcelona always plays against Real Madrid, Arsenal plays against Chelsea, Arsenal plays against Man United, Man United plays against Tottenham. Like there's been a lot of these fixtures. I don't know why they put it like that. I guess it tests you in terms of Premier League players that you're going to play against next season, and that is how our fixtures are actually looking like this time round. Apart from a couple. Now, the first one will be Nuremberg. The players are already jetting off to Germany. This first friendly match of this season. This was the same exact fixture we played last season against Nuremberg, and the likes of Jesus made his debut in that match, and he played really well. I remember him starting on the right side on fire. But this is the first fixture once again this season over in Germany. I wouldn't expect to see the likes of Declan Rice and the likes of Timber in this game at all, but I would expect a few of the other boys who played against Watford, the likes of maybe Gabriel, maybe Cedric, maybe Holding, the players who might not be here next season, and the players maybe didn't really play international football after the season ended. The likes of Saka will not be playing in this one, but the likes of Gabriel Trossard will probably be playing in this one, just like they did against Watford. A good start in terms of preseason fixtures. We kind of have a good relationship in Nuremberg now for some reason. We are playing them every single year. That will be on Thursday, 13th of July. UK time, it will be 6 p.m. So it's good for the audience that is watching from Europe, Africa, and also Asia. It's good timings for us. So no problem with that at all. So Nuremberg will be our first game this Thursday. Finally, we'll get to see the Arsenal live. The Watford one was being closed though, so we'll finally get to see Arsenal playing for the first time in like 6-7 weeks. So it's great to have them back. After that, Arsenal will be jetting to United States of America as they usually do. I think we've been going to USA for a long time now. Obviously, it was a couple of years during COVID where people didn't really travel for preseason. But even before that, I remember last season, for example, we went there, we played Chelsea, we played Everton, same point I was making at the beginning of the video. We usually play teams from the league. We also played Orlando City. This time around, they actually have some tougher fixtures. The first game we'll be playing will be on Wednesday, 20th July. This will be played in Washington, D.C. This one will be played at 1:30 a.m. UK time. So this one will be late night for most of the people, and then it will be Wednesday night as well. So if you're working or going to school the very next day, it's going to be a very late kickoff, and it will be Arsenal against the MLS All-Stars. Now, I usually do follow the MLS. I actually play their fantasy, and I know a few players from like Nashville and Toronto and teams like Atlanta United, and there are some really good players. So they basically pick like a few players, best players from each team. Messi could have been in this fixture if he had already started playing for Inter Miami. He would have been playing in this game. But some really, really good players. There's one that is called Mukhtar that I always captain in MLS Fantasy. He's really good. I'm sure he's going to start in this game. And then there's also a few other events like some other games that we'll be playing like right before this, the day before this one, like a challenge, like where they try to hit the post. I think the likes of Havertz, Jorginho have been picked for that, like taking penalties, who will win, all that. They'll be doing like good challenges. I don't know if you're going to be showing that one live or we're just going to get the highlights of that one, but some interesting one. That will be yes, it's written 19th, but basically it's heading into 20th. So pretty much that's that night. So when you get closer to that, we'll break down the timings and everything. But MLS MLS All-Stars will be our second fixture. And then from there, we'll now face a couple of teams that we might face a lot of times next season. You never know. The first one will be on that Saturday, 22nd of July. And this one is not a friendly, man. This one is not a friendly. Arsenal against Manchester United, 22nd. This will now travel from Washington, D.C. to New York, and then we'll play against Manchester United at MetLife Stadium. That's a crazy one. Like, people who are there, this will be a great fixture for them. Like Arsenal against Man United in the Big Apple, the New York City, Arsenal versus Man United. This will be a big one. So this one is not a friendly. I'm expecting them to have like a lot of people who will go to watch that game. And it's a game that you don't want to lose, whether it's a friendly or not. You want to at least you want to put some fear in them a couple of weeks before the Premier League starts. And also, we're actually not playing them that far. We're actually going to play them very soon in the Premier League. I think that will be like the fourth of the fifth fixture, something like that. I think something like that. In the first 6 fixtures, we will be playing against Man United. So it's going to be very soon. In September, we'll be playing against Man United. So it's good to inject some fear in them in this fixture before playing against them. So in terms of lineup, the first game against Nuremberg, I expect the players who might not be here, might be here. Maybe it just gives them a chance because the other players are not coming yet. The likes of Cedric, Lokong, and all those guys will play in that one. The one for MLS All-Stars, we could start seeing a few of the regular boys like Odegaard, maybe Saka, maybe Saliba if he's fit by then. And then maybe, you never know, maybe someone like a Timber Rice could make the debut in that fixture. And then the one for Man United, I expect us to go very strong. Obviously, first half, second half changes and all. But the likes of Jesus, Saka, Martinelli probably all play in that one. I expect a very strong lineup in that one. Rice and Timber will probably start in that one as well. But this one is not a fixture. This is a game we have to win. After that, Arsenal will be traveling once again, this time all the way from the East Coast to the West Coast in LA to play in Stan Kroenke Stadium, actually over in LA against Barcelona. So again, this is a tough one, a very, very good fixture to test yourself out. Of course, we will be back in the Champions League next season. Actually, since you are in pot 2 and Barcelona is in pot 1, we could actually end up being drawn in the same group as them in the Champions League. So it's a team that we could be facing again next season twice. So you never know, maybe even more than twice. Who knows? If you end up facing each other in the quarterfinal as well, we could end up facing Barcelona 5 times in a season. That would be mega. So that will be 26th of July, Barcelona. I think by then, you already have an idea of which players are going to start. You already have seen a few performances from Havertz, from maybe 1 or 2 from Timber, 1 or 2 from Declan Rice as well. We've seen where Trossard will be playing. We'll see when Saka will be playing. Hopefully, Saliba is 100% fit by then. By that time, I would have expected to see every single player. Ramsdale, even Turner, maybe round of the games after he comes back from the Gold Cup with the ESA. All those players, I would expect them to play, who have played by then against Barcelona. And the fitness has to be in check by then. So after Washington, D.C., after New York, and then after LA, as they will be traveling back to England for 2 more fixtures. The first one will be against AS Monaco in the Emirates Cup. We usually play this. I remember that back in the day, like 2014, 2013 there, like I used to look forward to the Emirates Cup. Like it was crazy. Like because we used to play on Saturday and then on Sunday, we used to play 2 games. And then I remember facing Galatasaray, New York Red Bulls. I think the time we faced Benfica, FC Porto. Like Emirates Cup was really good. Like playing 2 days in a row. Literally, I don't know if you guys remember, I used to watch Arsenal on Saturday and also on Sunday, same time. Basically, you play on Saturday, you can't really start the same players. So we used to watch, Fabregas, Ashevin on Saturday, and then on Sunday you watch the others, the rest of the players. It used to be really, really fun. But these days changed because more fixtures and all, and Emirates Cup is now not really a tournament, it's like one fixture. So it's Arsenal against Monaco in that game. This will be played in midweek, actually. This will also be a Wednesday game. Interesting. So I think the Barcelona one will be a Wednesday game. I think the MLS All-Stars one will be like Tuesday night heading into Wednesday, and the Monaco one will also be a Wednesday game. Why? Because on that weekend, we will be playing the big one against Man City. I say the big one, Paul usually don't look at this as a big one, but hey, again, just like Man United and all those teams, this is a team you're going to be facing and probably competing with next on the way we want it to be. So we don't really want them to beat you 4-5-0 in the beginning or in the Community Shield. If you can get one over them, get a cup to start the season off. Even though people don't really treat it like a huge cup or anything, it's good to just get a piece of silver before the season starts. So with the Emirates Cup, and then you also win the Community Shield, 2 trophies before the season. then you're ready to go. Pull are used to the medals and everything, and then you're ready to go. Obviously, it wouldn't make too much change, but hey, you don't want to lose to Man City in that fixture. Community Shield, and we usually do very well in Community Shields. Like, I think the last 4 or 5 that we've played, we've won all of them, and we've beaten tough teams like Man City. There's a time we beat them by like 3 goals. We beat Chelsea twice in the Community Shield, once on penalties. There's another time Chamberlain scored. So we don't actually lose in Community Shield. Even recently, we beat Liverpool on penalties in the Community Shield. We always win the Community Shield fixture. So let's hope we win that one as well. So that is how our preseason will be looking like. We'll be taking on Nuremberg in Germany, and then travel to USA to face the MLS All-Stars, Manchester United, and also Barcelona, and then back to England to face Monaco, and finally at Wembley, Manchester City. So some really, really good tests there. Man City, Barcelona, Man United, some really, really good tests. MLS All-Stars, their best team there, picking their best players. Last season, we actually played Everton, Orlando City, so last season I'd say it was easier. This season, we are playing some really top teams. So it's always good to start this season with a few wins. I usually don't agree with people saying it doesn't matter and all, but you don't want to lose all 6 games in the preseason, because that kind of form and spirit carries on to the rest of the campaign. You don't want that. That is exactly what happened 2 seasons ago. We lost a few preseason games and then started the season, lost to Brentford, lost to Chelsea, lost to Man City. Last season, when we were scoring 4 or 5 goals against Chelsea in USA, and then we put 6 past Sevilla as well in the Emirates Cup, we came back in the Premier League and we were ready to go. Beat Crystal Palace, beat Leicester, beat Bournemouth. We were ready to go from the start of the season. Let's hope that this is the same for this time round as well. Let me know which ones will you be watching. Are you traveling to watch any of them? Which one are you looking forward to the most? Man United, Barcelona, MLS All-Stars, Emirates Cup? Let me know. Thank you for watching. I'll catch up with you guys on the next one.